So I want to talk about this recent parabolic move higher in the US dollar and more importantly, why I believe it could be setting up to make a major top. Now, as you can see on this monthly chart, the US dollar has made a extremely strong parabolic move higher over the last 9 months, going up 9 months in a row from around 80 on the US dollar index all the way to just above 100 this month. The RSI readings on the US dollar are up in the clouds. They haven't been at these levels in the last 15 years, and I think as far as since the 1980s, we've only seen levels approaching this level maybe one other time. To go look at a weekly chart, we can see that the US dollar made an important bottom in April or May of 2011, and this is something that I'm going to touch on in a little bit that's pretty interesting. And it formed a stage 1 base back then. It broke into a stage 2 advance until 2012, consolidated that gain, and then more recently really formed a tight consolidation formation in 2014 and surprised a lot of people by breaking out into this crazy parabolic move higher that is just, hasn't had any pauses really for 9 months, and finally is starting to correct a little bit. Up here you can see this candle where the US dollar made a high, and then the same day it made a $4 move lower after the Fed minutes. So I want to show you how obsessed with the US dollar the media has become lately. If you just go on Google and Google strong dollar CNBC, you can see that, I mean, CNBC has been talking about the strong dollar relentlessly. It's just been like if you watch financial media or the news, it's been all over the place. I mean, you look at these headlines. These companies can weather a strong dollar. Kramer, Nike handles strong dollar like a champ. Tiffany sales fall 1% on a stronger dollar. Steel hit by strong dollar. Secretary Lew, strong dollar good. Strong US dollar is good for the world. How strong dollar affects stocks. I mean, this is everywhere. I even wrote a recent article where I talked about, this is after the dollar got about to, or the euro was like at 104 or 106 to the US dollar, and after all those gains, CNBC viewers were still expecting the US dollar to go to parity immediately. They ran this poll about a week or so ago, and they said, when will the euro dollar hit parity with the US dollar? And CNBC viewers, 40% of them said this month in March, and another 40% said by June. And basically 90% of them said sometime this year the US dollar is going to hit parity with the euro. So after such a huge move higher in the US dollar, everybody's thinking that parity is just around the corner. I actually voted for never because after such a strong move, in my opinion, I mean, I think that moves of that type get exhausted, and that can actually crash. And I think that's a good possibility for the US dollar. Here's another poll CNBC recently ran where they said, what will push the euro to hit parity with the US dollar? And they say, they're basically saying parity with the US dollar is a foregone conclusion now. And what is going to push the dollar to hit parity with the euro? And it's amazing. Like 72% of viewers in this vote think either European woes or stronger US data is going to cause the dollar to hit parity with the euro. Well, what's interesting about this is that over the last 3 to 6 months, all the U.S. economic data has been weaker than expected. So if CNBC viewers are counting on strong U.S. data to actually push this dollar to parity with the euro, I mean, they could be severely mistaken here. So it's kind of interesting how confident they are with a strong dollar, even as a strong dollar has made such a parabolic move higher. It's really shows you how euphoric people are at the bubble top of a market. Here's another thing that I found actually kind of funny. It talks about investment woes of the Clinton family hedge fund. And basically what happened here is the Clinton family hedge fund invested in Greece and lost a ton of money. And they're talking about what the fund's going to do next because it just had a terrible outcome with investing in Greece. And it says the fund has withdrawn from much of its Greek trading, but now it wants to bet big on the US dollar to outperform a number of foreign currencies. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Uh, they want to get into the dollar at this top. So, I mean, everyone wants to get into the dollar now. Everybody's bullish on the dollar. Everybody believes strong U.S. and decoupling of the United States is going to keep pushing the dollar higher into this mega bull market that's never going to end. It's really quite amazing. Um, Now, I want to go back and talk about what happened with the dollar in 2011. I mean, if you were paying attention to the financial media back in 2011, around April or May, people were terrified of the dollar falling off a cliff around here. I mean, you had a dollar move from above 87 to 73 over a period of about a year, straight down. And Bernanke was talking around here, and people were expecting the U.S. dollar just to fall off a cliff. And I'm going to show you an article here from CNBC in 2011 to really highlight this. I mean, this was written in April 21st, 2011. It says, "Don't like a weak dollar? Might as well get used to it." Okay, let's go back to that chart. Might as well get used to it? No, we're not going to get used to it because the dollar made a huge important bottom back in April 2011. Went on to have a bull market that had, a big gain into 12, consolidation, then huge gain into 2015. But this is back in 2011, and they're saying get used to a weak dollar right at the bottom. And they say in this article that weakness in the U.S. dollar is causing everything to go up. The greenback is approaching pre-financial crisis lows. A combination of factors account for this weakness: easy Fed monetary policies, huge debts and deficits. Trader Dennis Gartman says the rout of the U.S. dollar is in full effect. Panic in the dollar is setting in, Gartman says. He's saying people are going to have nightmares. How much lower can the dollar go? Gartman describes the dollar as being in serious jeopardy here. I mean, like I said, this is right at the bottom of the US dollar. This is how bearish people are down here. This is the top of the US dollar, or a potential top, in 2015. Look at how bullish people are up here in the US dollar. I mean, it's a huge discrepancy in emotions, and this is how markets work. People are bearish at the bottom, and they're bullish at the top. And I want to go back to the monthly chart real quick and show you that what's really important to notice here is that the dollar made a major low in 2008 when everybody hated it. And it made another major low in 2011 when everyone hated it. Now everybody loves it here at the top in 2015. So it's essentially gone higher for 7 years now, and everyone loves it now that it's way higher. And in a cyclical sense, it's gone up for 4 years now, from a major low in 2011 until this high in 2015. So from a 7-year or 4-year time frame, you're talking about a higher dollar that everyone's used to now. And bull markets don't last forever. So, if anything's ripe for a turn potentially, and a major cyclical top, or potentially a secular top too, it's really is the US dollar here. So in my opinion, I'm going to start looking for a stage 3 top to form. I'm going to start looking for the dollar to start chopping around here, and the 30-week moving average to catch up to it. And then, but it's really, there is a potential that the US dollar could just crash back lower here. I want to show you one last thing. It's Bitcoin. And Bitcoin went into a parabolic top and it just crashed after that, and has kept crashing all the way until now. And back in November 2013, the media was all bulled up on Bitcoin right as it was making a major top. I mean, here's an article. I googled CNBC Bitcoin November 2013. Bitcoin hit $750, up 107% in a week. Winklevoss's Bitcoin worth at least 100 times more. An ounce of gold for a Bitcoin. Bitcoin skyrockets. Is a bubble at hand? I mean, the media was talking about Bitcoin obsessively in November 2013. And look what happened. I mean, this is a parabolic move higher, and this is what happens to parabolic moves. They collapse. One final note is if you think about what happened to silver in 2011, silver made a major top after a parabolic run, right as the dollar was making a major low, and everybody was obsessed with silver up here. I saw CNBC commentators talking about buying into silver who had never even you didn't even hear a mention of silver for years on CNBC, and then all of a sudden right at the top, this is all they're talking about is silver, and like I said, this is just another example of a parabolic move that just crashed, and now it's fast forward, it's 2015. Nobody cares about silver. Nobody's talking about it. I mean, if you told somebody that silver could be embarking on a major bull run right here, they would say you're crazy or you're just holding on to false dreams. But I mean, silver's sitting at major support now, and right when everyone doesn't care or hates silver, things could be changing. So this is really something interesting to pay attention to, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.